Tonight, President Trump in the final countdown to Friday's high-stakes summit with Russian leader Vladimir Putin.
We have a big meeting. It's going to be, I think, very important for Russia, and it's going to be very important for us.
Russian President Vladimir Putin and United States President Donald Trump convened today at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, Alaska, for what is being widely regarded as a high-stakes summit aimed at halting the war in Ukraine through diplomatic effort. The meeting commenced this morning approximately at 11 a.m. local time when President Trump greeted President Putin directly at his aircraft. This ceremonial gesture signaled the start of a sensitive diplomatic engagement between two powerful world leaders. The meeting follows months of strained relations and builds on earlier diplomatic contacts, including a formal February phone call between the two presidents. During that call, they agreed to initiate immediate talks to end hostilities in Ukraine. Trump described the summit as a preliminary feel-out meant to test Putin's willingness to negotiate a ceasefire and perhaps more. President Trump emphasized that he would not negotiate for Ukraine. Rather, he sought to bring them to the table. He indicated that sanctions could follow promptly should Russia resist meaningful diplomacy. Trump has also hinted that the chances of success are modest, estimating a 75% possibility of progress while also acknowledging a significant chance that the talks might fail outright. Public statements from both sides ahead of the meeting were cautious. Blocs described the effort as earnest, but critics remain skeptical about whether real compromise can occur given conflicting goals. Russia seeks to consolidate gains, and Trump hopes for a quick ceasefire while maintaining leverage through threats of sanctions. Ukrainian President Zelensky emphasized that any solutions to end the war must involve Ukraine, directly warning that peace talks about Ukraine without Ukraine are bound to fail. As leaders convened, tension and anticipation mounted. The first Trump-Putin summit in Alaska carried massive geopolitical weight covering Ukrainian sovereignty, U.S.-Russian relations, NATO, unity, regional stability, and global economic signals. All of this unfolded under scrutiny of protesters' press and anxious allies. Trump characterized the meeting as a feel-out session to test Russia's willingness to compromise. He added that a more important outcome would be the next round of discussions with Zelensky. Ukrainian President Zelensky condemned the meeting's exclusionary structure, stating that talks about us without us will not work. From the Russian perspective, participating in a summit on U.S. territory signaled that attempts to isolate Moscow had failed and that Russia maintained relevance on the AI Kremlin-aligned source indicated that Putin's weakened economy might incline him toward negotiation or even a freeze of frontline conflict areas if the U.S. would commit not to expand NATO eastward. Yes, Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump are indeed meeting today, August 15, 2025, in Anchorage, Alaska. This summit, held at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, is their first face-to-face encounter since Trump's re-election and Putin's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. In the Grand Hall, the lights were low and the air was tense, and Trump stood tall and Putin watched with a steady gaze, and the Ukrainian president took a slow breath, and the table between them felt like a battlefield, and words became weapons and pauses became shields, and the crowd outside waited for a sign, and the talks went long, and the voices rose, and the eyes locked, and the promises were tested, and the clock kept ticking, and the world waited for an end. And an answer. Prior steps toward this summit set the stage in February of 2025 when Trump and Putin held a formal hour-and-a-half phone call. This marked the first direct exchange since the invasion in 2022. Following that conversation, negotiations to end hostilities in Ukraine were agreed on in principle. U.S.-led negotiations